Well, hello there. I'm Suzanne, and I'm so glad that you could join me today. I've had a great week. I have just seen a friend off on Monday who I got to spend some time with, precious friend I've known for a few years. She went back to the UK. And then another friend came out the very next day, actually, and we've had a great time. Yesterday, we went down the coast to Estepona, a really beautiful little town on the beachfront in the Costa del Sol. It was a gorgeous day. The weather's getting really, really hot. So it's nice to be outside, and if it's a little breezy, the best place to be is by the ocean. So I am so blessed that I get to live in a part of the world where we can do that. So I've been having an amazing time with friends, and I appreciate my friendships so much. And that's what I covered in last week's video. If you want to have a look at that one, I talked about what a good friend is. And it started to make me think, as I was spending time with these women who I cherish and are precious to me, I started to think about what a bad friend is. I mean, when you've lived for the 61 years I've lived, I can look back in hindsight and I can remember times where I have had friendships that have gone south, and I've also maybe not been as good of a friend as I could be. So I thought today's video, I would like to cover the topic of what a bad friend is. So the first type of maybe red flag could be, is someone who's really competitive. Now I think competitiveness, if these are your friends that you run with or cycle with or do triathlons with or those kind of things, even, raids and stuff, being competitive there is appropriate. But in the friendship, you come to them, something has happened to you, and you pour out your heart to them, and they go, well, you think that's bad. This is what happened to me. And they completely ignore what has happened to you. And in that moment, you might need comfort, you might need a shoulder to cry on, but they have got to compete with you, and their disaster is way greater than your disaster. Or the opposite could be true. Something wonderful has happened to you, and you're just so excited to share this thing with your friend, and you come and tell them, guess what? And they have to outdo you. And if this is something that happens on a regular basis with this person, it's not going to take long before that friendship is going to go flat, because good friendships are not built on competitiveness, especially when it comes to outdoing each other in our tragedies and outdoing each other in our triumphs. So that's someone that I would look out for. The second kind of person that I would be very careful of is I listen to how people talk about other people. And if someone is constantly what we would call trash talk other people, you can be sure that they are talking about you behind your back, because that's just kind of the kind of person that they are. So I would be very careful of a person like that. Another type of friend that might naturally fizzle out, because it's bound to, is someone who talks to you as though it's a monologue. You can't get a word in edgewise with this person. They don't even ask you. They don't even ask you, how are you? What's going on in your life? Everything is about me, myself, and I. And the whole conversation goes like that. And you're not feeling like you're interacting with them. And the same person, probably everything is all about themselves. When they talk to you, their only reason to talk to you is to talk about themselves. And I don't know if that is a kind of friendship that could really go anywhere. I guess if someone needed someone to talk to, I don't mind listening to people if they have something to talk, or need someone to talk to. I understand we all need that from time to time. But I don't think you can build friendships on someone who constantly just has a monologue with you. So maybe that's something to consider. If you think this someone is friendship material, do they allow you to have a voice, and do they listen to you when you talk? And do they even care about what you say and ask you questions? Or do they always have to revert the conversation back to themselves? That's something I would watch for. This next kind of friend, maybe they're not even a friend, because I think they probably are the most annoying type of person. I actually had a friend like this many years ago, but no matter what you said, they said the opposite. I don't know if anybody has ever had anybody like that in their life. Like you almost want to say, the sky is blue, so they can say, no, it isn't, it's red. And I don't know how you can have a good, meaningful relationship with someone who's combative like that, who always feels that they've got to contest everything that you say, and everything feels like it's under a microscope. And no matter what you say, it's not right. Because you could never possibly be right, because this other person has to be right. So that would be a hard situation to have a friendship with someone like that. That would be a good friendship. I think one of the hardest character traits to pin down as someone who's not good friendship material is someone who's passive aggressive. Because sometimes it's hard to know when someone's just joking or they're taking a dig at you. So I was thinking, what are some examples of someone who's being passive aggressive? And I tried this out on my husband yesterday, and I said to him, can you think of a statement that would be passive aggressive? Like if you're smart enough, you know, or a girl could say something like, oh, that dress looks so wonderful on you. I'd love to wear a dress like that, but you know, I'm just too slim. That's really being passive aggressive. And those kind of statements are always digs. You know, when a person is taking a dig at you, you go, what is it about what this person says? You can't quite put your finger on it. But usually it's they're putting you down, but they put you down in a very backhanded kind of way. In fact, that's what a backhanded compliment is go, did I just get complimented or did I just get put down? That's usually what a passive aggressive person will do. And then you've got the friend who maybe isn't a good friend, who's sarcastic. In Proverbs 26:19, it says, there is a person who deceives his friend and then says, oh, I'm only joking. You know, they take a dig at you and go, oh, relax, you know, I was only joking. You always take me so seriously. Like they're sarcastic. They're not being loving and they're not being kind. And they're certainly not caring about your feelings. So I would be careful of a person who's passive aggressive and a person who's sarcastic. These to me are red flags, especially when they happen a lot. Like I know once in a while we joke around with our friends and we say things to each other, and we're joking, right? But there's a line you can cross. If it's happening frequently with this person, I would really reconsider my friendship with them. And then you know that your friendship has gone way down into the toilet is when you've been around that person, you just feel exhausted. They just suck the life out of you. And then you know that this relationship probably needs to go definitely on the acquaintanceship list. That's a mouthful. Is when you actually dread being around that person. You don't even like being around them. Something has gone so south in that relationship that you might need to assess what it was in the relationship. Is it one of the things on this list that has happened that I've been talking about? That is it something that can be fixed? Is it something that could be talked out? Or is it really someone who's not good friendship material and you really need to consider? Many of us know the story about Judas who betrayed Jesus. And maybe you do or do not know this, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of background story. Judas was one of the 12 disciples that Jesus picked at the very beginning of his ministry life that is talked about in the scriptures. Now, Judas hung around with him just like Peter and James and John and all the others did. He ate at the same table with them. He witnessed the same miracles and speeches that Jesus gave to the crowds of the people. Judas was so trusted that he was the one that even was in charge of keeping the money. And yet 3 years later, we see Judas betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, which is a very small amount of money. I'm not sure if Judas truly understood that the people who were going to arrest Jesus had actually planned because they wanted to kill him. Maybe Judas didn't know that, but he was a good friend for 3 years, or appearing to be at least a friend for 3 years. And yet he turned on Jesus for a very small amount of money. And not only did Judas sell out Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, but he also betrayed him with a kiss. He told the people who wanted to arrest Jesus, the one that I go and kiss, he's the one that you want to arrest. So he goes up to Jesus and kisses him. And this kiss of his has become famous. In fact, the mafia calls it the Judas kiss or the kiss of death. So if someone in the mafia were to go up to someone else and kiss them, that person already knows their time is up. They're the next hit. So that kind of betrayal is pretty deep. I don't know if it's possible to work through a friendship where this kind of deep betrayal has taken place. I don't know if a person can work things out that a friendship could continue. Perhaps in some cases that can happen. I don't want to say no, but the chances of a relationship being restored after betrayal, like I would say that a relationship after that is not going to happen. So I just want to encourage you that if you're thinking about betraying someone, I would really consider the cost of betrayal. And if you're someone who's been betrayed, I think that you need to take notice that this person is not the kind of friend that you want in your life. So there's my list of people that I would put in the bad friend zone. Now maybe things that are more serious like betrayal, gossiping, repeating things about you that you've told them in confidence. There are those things, I think they are deal breakers in friendships. I really do. Other things, they happen on a continuum, and maybe it's possible that you could work things out, or you could talk to each other, and maybe your friendship will grow deeper because you've actually had to talk through some pretty tough things, like you do in meaningful relationships. But if there's a lot of these signs, a lot of these things going on in your relationship, these are all signs, and maybe you need to reconsider your friendships and put them in the acquaintanceship. That's a hard word to say. Put them in that zone. Take them out of the good friend zone for sure. Anyway, that's enough for today. If you like this video, it would be so helpful to me if you could like and subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when my next video comes out. And I would love it if you please leave a comment. I've been getting a few comments. It's been very exciting for me because this channel is new. So I really appreciate all your help and all your support. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.